Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's had a fantastic week. If not, just remember it's the start of the weekend. Last day until tomorrow, which is the start of the weekend. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. Join the family, show your support, hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified every time we drop a new video on the channel. If you have not gone to check out the channel, I highly recommend it. We're dropping new videos in different genres every week, so definitely go check it out. Join the family, show your support. We're going to continue in one of those genres today, the anime genre. This one is based off One Piece. This is One Piece Pirate Warrior 3. We were picking up in the last chapter of that today after yesterday, where we finished up a very emotional scene. The new beginning. Now this is going to take place after the 2-year time skip, where we're meeting back at Archipelago. Yeah. There's the graves of Whitebeard and Ace. 3 cups of sake. There's Sabo. I didn't think they were going to actually show that cutscene. And if you haven't guessed who that is by now, well, I don't know what to tell you. My only regret. Ace's last words. And he will fulfill them. I truly believe that. So we're going to be meeting back up on, I think it's Archipelago. I don't honestly know. Maybe they'll tell us. Battle Marineford, Marine Headquarters, Resign, the new Admiral, blah blah blah. There's a big fight, duel, Marines, 4 Emperors left, empty, Blackbeard takes it, influencing into the new world. Meanwhile, Straw Hat keeps silent. At 2 years, he works, hockey, Riley, Gru, yep, The 2 years is, Sabioti, Archipelago, whatever it is. I butcher names. If you weren't aware of that, that's what I do. Alright, now if this is the first one of these videos you've checked out, I recommend starting at the beginning of the series. But if not, definitely check the last 2 episodes. Or the chapter 4 was really emotional, strong, a really good arc. If you've not watched One Piece, you will have spoilers. I will not spoil the most loose thing out on One Piece, which is what's currently happening in the manga and the anime. This game does not reach that, but I will be talking about what's happening in the game at this point. So if you're working your way up to this point, or you're near this point and you don't want spoilers, I completely understand as an anime fan, because I'm going to be covering a lot. Starting off, we're going to be covering the mechanics of the game, and then the strategies and the reasoning behind it, as well as the ledger, how everything works and what you need to know to level your character up. And then we will go into the breakdown of what's going on in the story and where we're heading and what has transpired and what gaps they have left out. Now remember, this starts out at the very beginning of One Piece and takes you all the way to Doflamingo, which is a really long ways. I mean, you figure it takes you it takes you a good portion past the 2-year skip, which is insane. So anyway, as we fight and get into it, you'll notice there's a blue bar. The blue bar is our health. The yellow bar that has 4, that I just used 1 of, is our specials. Now, yesterday, we had different specials. It was Gum Rifle. The special we just used was Red Hawk, which is a new technique we got after the time skip. So I am interested to use the new 2-bar, because I can use a 2-bar as well. Now something real quick I don't generally get into a lot. You can notice her health bar is yellow. There's 3 type of colors in this game. Blue, which is ally, red, which is enemy, yellow, which a lot of time is foe to both red and blue. But a lot of times when you defeat a yellow, they become part of your team, or they just disappear. Sometimes they don't. They're just a middleman enemy that attacks both sides. Now with that being said, Like, she just became our ally. Perfect example. Okay, now what we just used was a rush. That's when we had Chopper over here to the left, that bar that we're working up. That is what we just used a rush and a special rush final. I'll get into that when we trigger another one. Right now we're building it up. As you can see, his number just went to 2. So anytime I use a combo of attacks from short range to long range, Chopper will step in and do a move of his own. Once you get him up to 2, he's doing, I forget what that is. But the reason that is, it's assist kills. Now when you do a rush, majority of your kills will go to assist kills. You will have generally about the same amount of kills go to blue, but basically it's just you get a lot more assist kills during a rush. You can trigger the final at the end of a rush, middle of a rush, beginning of a rush. Now there's arrows. That's because we have different people on our crew currently or fighting with us, not necessarily on our crew, that we can switch to and build up. Now the importance of that is, now that I've used Chopper in a rush, even if I max him out and then go max out another character and use that other character for the first time, his bar will drop. But now if I max out all the other characters that are with me but don't trigger their rushes and just use Chopper, none of their bars will go down because they haven't been used yet. Once you use them for the first time, every time you trigger a rush, they will jump in and be part of the final attack of that rush every time. Now you'll see a bar pop up right there in the left corner, and I went ahead and just used a special just to take out the whole room. Now you can use it different ways, you can use it however you want, but we're going to switch up characters. Chopper's really not getting a lot for me. Now why is that important? That is what we'll get to in just a little bit. That is the ledger. Now the importance of a ledger is that's how you get specific coins. That's how you complete the level 100%, which gives you even more special coins. What's the purpose of the special coins, you may ask? The special coins are simple. That's how you level up some of your specials, your attack, your defense, your stamina, your recovery. You have to use character coins, which by defeating characters or using characters, that's how you get their coins. So you need some special coins, you get them from the ledger or doing certain treasure events and whatnot. Now the ledger is 9 blocks. It's a 3x3 puzzle. 3 layers of 3 rows, 3 spots, 3 rows, kind of like a Sudoku block or a tic-tac-toe block, however you want to look at it. There's 9 available spots. Now we're going to cover them starting from the top, the most basic 2, which is beat the level on hard. That's the first 2. The next 4 go hand in hand. I group them together hand in hand. Okay, you have 4 possible S's that you have to get. Each S you get gets you part of the ledger. Now 3 of them are separate. One is cumulative. Okay. Alright, the first one is getting enough KOs, getting enough assist kill, which is the golden number above KOs, time, beating it in enough time, getting an S rank in your time, and the cumulative one is getting all 3 in one run. Now you can get S rank on normal and hard, you cannot get S rank on easy. So what I recommend, especially for the first 6 of the 9, is play your first round on hard, okay? Because if you beat it, you automatically get those 2. Any S ranks you get will go towards the ledger, and if you can get all 3, then you've completed 6 in one run. It just cuts back on the amount of times you have to play it. And then once you get hard knocked out of the way on the first go, if you have to go back and do treasure events or work on getting S rank across the board or whatever, then you can play on normal, which backs down the difficulty, because a lot of times it comes down to time for me. I have had the occasion where it's been kills, but most of the time it's time for me. But anyway, we are, that is the first 6. The next 2 are the same, always. Treasure events. Now the treasure events aren't always the same, but completing all the treasure events will get you the ledger, whatever they are. It just depends. Some have 3, 2, 4, 5, and they're very lengthy. Some are very short. You'll know when they pop up and have the opportunity to complete one. A question mark will pop up, and if you complete it, the question mark will pop up again with an orange circle around it to let you know you were able to complete it. Some of them specific characters you have to play as. Some of them are fighting a certain person with a certain character. So with that being said, one of the treasure events for yesterday's was beat all the tough enemies. Well, Hancock won't fight Luffy, so I had to replay it as another character that she would fight, because I wasn't able to fight Hancock with Luffy. I wasn't able to defeat all the hard characters, or whatever it's called. So with that being said, the other one that will always be the same is beat the final boss. Now, we talked about the colors blue, red, and yellow. Red will always, see, there's a question mark for a treasure event. Red will always be your final boss, and this health bar will always be broke down into 3 spots. And you'll know you're near the end of the level. It will come up, and there you have it. It will be broke down into 3 spots. So beating him with a final special rush, that means going into the rush and using a final special, like we just are gonna do right here. This is it, and I keep using I've used, you see how Chopper's in it now, and I've used her, and it will completely drain Chopper, so his will go back to whatever. But now if I go get her and Chopper up, or get her up and go get Sanji up or something, or Usopp, and then use hers, it won't drain Usopp's, because I have not used him yet, so he's not part of the rush of all the assist characters that I have used and triggered. So with that being said, you have to trigger a rush with a character for them to be in any more rushes that game. I mean, you can use the same character over and over, but it won't drain their bar. So with that being said, what I would recommend, there's 3 ways to get the bar up. 1, fighting, which is what we've been doing. 2 is treasure chests. Some chests have meat in them. The meat will not only heal you, but it will max out any character assist bar from 1 to max. And if it's the right character, all the way to hero, which is past max. The other one is some characters you'll see pop up, say, in trouble. That means their health is about 50% down. Then you'll see trying to flee pop up. Once that one pops up, see, hers is in trouble. Her health's probably 50% of the way down, or has just hit under 50. The next one will be probably about 25% mark, which will be, see, we got the circle. Maybe it's red. We got the circle around the treasure event, so we completed it. We, once they're trying to flee or running away, they word it different ways, but you get 2 warnings. The first warning, you can automatically go, and there will be a green circle around them. Stepping into that green circle will not heal you, it will heal them, but it will max out the assist character. So if you have found someone that does good combinations with to get you assist kills as you fight regardless, as long as they're maxed out, I would suggest using them. And over time, like if you're running into a big room and that character is maxed and you're going to use a special like Red Hawk, because Red Hawk, she doesn't come out and do an attack after Red Hawk. She only does it after combos of short or long term, mixed or together, however your combo works. But so, if you come into a big room and you're trying to clear it and you're going to pull a special, switch your character and it will automatically build that bar up a great deal. That's another technique you can use. Now, the reason I say that is when you go into the final boss, sometimes you'll work their health down and you'll use a final rush, and all of a sudden he'll be left, or she'll be left with just like a sliver, and there'll be no one else there to rebuild that bar. And so the quickest way to do it is to have a backup character you've never used, so you're going in too strong. That way, if the first one doesn't do it all the way out, you have a second one to fall on. I'm not saying getting every character maxed out and not using them. I'm just simply saying I would go in with 2 characters, one I've never used and one I have been using. Or it can be, 2 that you've never used, but it's easier to use one character throughout the whole level and just have a backup one. That's just my opinion, and it makes it easier to get that. Now, the final part of the ledger is one that changes every level. Sometimes it's fighting a certain way, and what I mean by that is strategy, fighting certain hard characters in a row, not letting no one flee, doing a certain technique correctly or certain strategy correctly. There's tons of different ones. It varies from level to level. Sometimes this fights someone 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in one level, and that only arises a couple times per level. So with that being said, that is the ledger. The purpose of it is to get special coins if you're going to max out everybody and take on Dream Island, which is kind of like a side area. It doesn't go with the main story. There's roughly, I think, 100 islands, and the hardness goes up. Some of the special coins you'll have to get there through bounties and whatnot. But some of the final islands, I think 5 or 6 of them are level 100, 70, 75. I've been working my way towards that. Your character can only get maxed up to 40 or 50 until you do a limit break. And some of the ones you need for limit breaks are getting 100% ledger in story mode, as well as the ledger for Dreamlog, which is just 8 spots. And some of them are easy, some of them are hard. I've been working towards some of them already. I haven't really shown any of the Dreamlog off because it's the same style fighting, and it's just random islands with random allies and random enemies. With that being said, that's pretty much, the same style here. It's, all the same style fighting. Map with red areas, people pop up, but this goes along with a story, so that's why we've been doing the story mode like this, and that's why I haven't showed off any of the Dreamlog. I may show off the final island, I don't know yet. With that being said, though, we've covered the technique, we've covered the mechanics, we've covered the enemies, we've covered the ledger, so let's get into what's going on to the story right now. Basically, this is after the 2-year time skip. Now, if you didn't watch last week's, you need to go check it out. Since we've covered it already, I have no problem talking about it now. So, spoiler alert, he loses his brother, Ace, who got captured and was trying to be executed. We went to Impel Down to try to break him out. Then we broke out of Impel Down because we missed him. And then we go to the war and join Whitebeard, and we take on them. We actually rescue Ace, but the lava dude taunts him in front of Whitebeard. Luffy runs out of steam, and Ace basically gets baited into saving him, and lava burns through fire, even though they're both Logia types, and it goes right through his chest, and he kills him. Whitebeard also dies. Blackbeard steals his ability. Shanks shows up and stops the war, says he's going to take their bodies and bury them appropriate burial. Luffy gets took back to Amazon Lily, where Hancock is, gets healed. Jinbei has to beat sense into him because he's on a rampage. He just lost his brother, as well as Riley, where he was still going to meet up with his crew in 3 days. Riley tells him, why not let me train you? And so he goes back, pays respect in the process of leaving a secret code, which the paper reports, doesn't know it's a secret code, and all his crew realizes to meet in 2 years, hence the 2-year time skip. Now, the whole reason we've come back to this island is where it all started going downhill. We came to this island to begin with to get our ship coded for Fishman Island. Ended up having some conflict, bunch of drama, and basically Luffy punches the Celestial Dragon, which is above the world government, or like gods or whatever. I don't any other word really say what they are. I mean, they're not actual gods, but they're like royalty, pure pains of society, in my opinion, in this anime. Some of them aren't too bad, but this particular one is, and after that, an admiral shows up, and his crew's not ready for him. And Kumo shows up, a warlord, and he separates the Straw Hats, but he saves them. He sends them all to an area where they can thrive, learn, and become stronger, because Kumo not only is a warlord who works for the government, but he also works with Luffy's dad, which is a revolutionary, in charge of the Revolutionary Army's leader is Luffy's dad. Luffy's grandpa is Garp, who is really high in the Marines and really strong, and he raised Luffy and Sabo and Ace. Now, Sabo is not something we've really talked about. We saw a clip at the beginning of this of Luffy, Ace, and Sabo as kids, and then you saw the guy at the altar. Yeah, Sabo's not dead. I don't know how much of a backstory they're going to show, but when we get to that part, I will go in more detail about it and what happened to him and why it's a surprise that he's still alive. Not going to get into it now. Now, this picks up 2 years after, and it's time to go meet everybody at Sabiato Archipelago. Anyway, it's where Riley's at. Riley's coating our ship. Fun fact, Kumo actually stays for 2 years and protects it, but he gave his body to the mad scientist and was basically, his whole mind was took over, and he's a complete machine now, and that's what the PXs are based off of, who gave us a really hard time the first time we came here. Now, we got sent to Amazon Lily, and that's where we found Hancock. Had to do some fighting. That's not in the game at all. Don't expect that to be in the game, but we ended up gaining her respect. She fell in love with us, but while on that island, that's where we heard news of Ace being captured and was going to be executed. We tried to go to El Pale Down to break him out before they took him there, broke out of there, went to Marine's Forge for the battle. Whitebeard was already there. Full-out war started. Come to find out, Ace is Gold Roger's son. They didn't really show a backstory explaining that, but basically Garp and Sengoku used to fight Gold Roger, and when he finally got captured, he asked Garp, because they were searching for the woman that was supposedly pregnant with his son. She actually held him in 18 or 20 months and then gave birth to him, and Garp knew about it, and Gold Roger asked him when he was in the prison cell, basically, you know, raise my son. And so he gets raised with Luffy, but Ace was on the island before Luffy got took there, because Ace is a little bit older. Sabo's Ace's friend, but they all become brothers over a situation. We'll talk about that more when we get to that particular episode. It should be in at least the last episode, because that's where a lot of stuff happens that involves Sabo in the anime. But this game was finished before we got all the way through the anime to that point, so I don't know how much is going to be released there. So we'll just have to wait and see, because I'm not going to spoil it. It should be in more detail in Pirate Warrior 4. Which is out, which I think picks up after the 2-year skip and takes you all the way to Wano. So, talk more in detail about it then. Basically, we get back to the island and we're incognito, right? Because they're looking for us. Apparently, they figured out the code as well for 2 years, because we go silent. The whole crew goes silent. And I guess because bodies weren't found, they knew we weren't dead. Now, with that being said, there's been a crew running around pretending to be us, and actually fools Luffy. He thinks that it's, you know, Nami, this, that, and the other, Usopp or Sanji or whatever, and it's not at all. But he finds that out, and he gets found out because the PX and that guy that faced Luffy back here on the island, the Admiral's nephew or whatever, that can use Haki, was one of the first times that I think we actually were introduced to Haki, besides Garp. He's back, and there's the meat maxed out. So with that being said, he reads the imposters, and it's not them. They get founded out. Luffy's wearing a mustache and glasses, so they end up finding him, and right behind him on a cliff with a bag on his back, and the PX shoots at him, and he dodges him, and he destroys it completely. And there's 3 of them there, I think. And Zoro and Sanji find him as he goes on the run, and they both take care of the other 2. I mean, they got nice power. I mean, they got nice strength. They did nice training. There's a lot of backstory on it. It's not really explained on this particular island. You just get to see some new stuff, which is really cool. Zoro ends up sinking a ship because he got late, just like how Mihawk did it in the first season when they're fighting what's-his-face that's challenging Sanji right before Sanji joins the crew. So, you know, there's just a lot of dots that are being connected. Now, I'm a huge One Piece fan, and this game is really great, and it actually goes really well to the story, but there are times... There's the guy. I can't pronounce his name. There is a lot that is left out in these later episodes because there's so much to go over, and unless you know what's going on, you're not going to really, you're gonna miss some stuff. You're going to. Another thing that I failed to mention is you know, time varies for S rank, but you want to shoot for 2,500 KOs like we have, and at least 15,000 assist kills, but I would shoot for 2,000. Now, right now I am fighting PXs, and I'm trying, so far they all have solid bars, so they may not be my final, but this is where we're getting ready to leave. They all have solid bars, so we're okay for that point. As long as they don't have 3. So I mean, I have a lot of assist kills left to get. I'm gonna shoot for 1,500, trying to flee. That's perfect. Ooh, elephant Gatling gun. Sweet. We got 2 more. We got another one trying to flee. All right, so we're maxed out. Perfect. We got 2 green rings. We're gonna go ahead and pop a special here. I don't see anybody with 3. Oh, he's got 3 bars. All right, so we're on our final boss. Alright, it looks like we stepped into 1, so let's go ahead and get Brooks. Nope, we didn't, so we're maxed out. Let's back up. Let's go ahead and use another special. This is really great. Going to aim it over here at Specifica. Hopefully we won't kill this guy. I'd really like 1,500 before walking away and killing him. That would be really nice. We got another 48, so that works out really good. It looks like sometimes more and more will spawn. Alright, sweet, we picked up another one. Oh, and we got Hancock trying to flee. Perfect. We have people trying to flee left and right because we're fighting 4 Specificas and the main guy. So I went ahead and healed her because Zoro's about to go down as well. So we can go pick up Zoro's. Alright, we took care of 1. Oh, we're sitting right there on it. I mean, right there on it. So close. I'm gonna go ahead and pound this guy with an elephant gun. Already got our max back out. Took care of him. Oh, we got victory. Oh, we defeated him. Oh, sweet. Oh, cool, we got a cutscene. Riley. Now that was Gold Roger's right-hand man. There's Zoro, Sanji. Go and reach the peak. There's Gold Roger. The same hat. I'm assuming he gives it to Shanks. Shanks gives it to Luffy. That was his friend. That was a brother. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he has. Ah, 1,000 Sunnies. Built by Frankie. There's Frankie, Usopp, Nami, Brooks, Robin. They've all grown, some really well. Like Usopp, Chopper. Chopper experimented with the Rumble Ball, and now he can use that form he couldn't control at Water 7, and is able to use it. Nami trained in weather. Usopp ended up on an island with plants and made some new stuff and trained. Look at that six-pack. Zoro trained with Mihawk. Sanji trained with, well, Sanji just trained. He was tortured. On the way we go. That's going to be it for this week, guys. Check back next week. Next week will be the last week, the first week in May. So definitely check back next week. And then after that, we'll be taking a break. So peace out.